Think about someone you know, a friend, a coworker, maybe a family member. You've seen them at events. You know they travel. They have a life, a real one, with real moments worth remembering. But their social media profile? Empty. No selfies, no birthday posts, no vacation photos, just a name and maybe a profile picture from years ago. The moment you notice that, your brain starts filling in explanations automatically. Maybe they're shy, maybe they're hiding something, maybe they just don't have much going on. You don't decide to think those things, they just appear. Studies show less than half of social media users ever post personal photos at all, which means this person isn't an anomaly. They're quietly part of a majority nobody talks about. And almost every assumption you just formed about them is wrong, not slightly off, genuinely, psychologically wrong. Because the real reason has nothing to do with shyness or secrecy. It has everything to do with something most people spend years trying to build and never quite find. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's happening in the mind of someone who stays visually offline. And whether that person is you or someone you know, what you're about to hear might make you question something you weren't expecting to question today. When someone never posts personal photos, the assumptions come fast. They must be insecure, too self-conscious to share what they look like, afraid of judgment. They must be antisocial, no real friendships, no social life worth showing. They must be hiding something, a secret life, something they don't want people to see. Or maybe they just don't have anything interesting happening. These assumptions feel logical. In a world where people document everything, meals, workouts, mundane Tuesday afternoons, someone who shares nothing personal stands out. And when something stands out, the brain reaches for the simplest explanation. But every single one of these assumptions shares the same flaw. They treat not posting as a sign of something missing, a gap, a deficiency. What if it's the opposite? What if people who don't post aren't missing something, but already have something most people are still searching for through every photo they share and every reaction they wait for? That reframe changes everything. And to understand it, you first need to understand what posting actually is psychologically, before you can understand why some people feel no pull toward it. Research published in Computers and Human Behavior found that one of the primary drivers behind social media posting is impression management, the deeply human need to control how others perceive us. Every photo shared, every caption written is a signal: this is who I am, this is what my life looks like, this is how I want to be seen. We're not just sharing moments, we're curating an identity. And we're waiting, consciously or not, for the world to confirm it back. Think about what that loop actually looks like. You capture a moment, frame it, write a caption, share it, and then you wait, you check back. You notice who responded and what they said. At the center of that loop is one quiet question. Did people validate this? Most people don't recognize they're running that loop. It's built into the habit. The platform is designed to keep it running, because the loop keeps you engaged. Non-posters have stepped outside it. Not because they're better than anyone, but because their sense of self was never wired to it, or they've deliberately disconnected from it. Their confidence doesn't live inside a notification. It stays stable because it comes from somewhere internal, not somewhere external. Psychologists call this non-contingent self-esteem. Self-worth that doesn't depend on outside feedback. It doesn't mean they never feel insecure. It means their core sense of self doesn't rise and fall based on how many people reacted to their face. That is genuinely rare. If their confidence is already internal, what are they protecting by staying offline? 3 things. The first is emotional peace. There's a particular calm that comes from knowing your personal moments aren't exposed to public reaction. No one is judging your appearance. No one is comparing your life to theirs. That absence of noise is something non-posters consistently describe as one of the most underrated feelings they have. One person said it simply: it's calming knowing no one else knows what I'm up to. Psychological research supports this. Maintaining personal privacy actively reduces anxiety and strengthens emotional well-being over time. The second is identity stability. When your life is constantly on display, Your self-image slowly gets shaped by how others respond to it. You begin seeing yourself through your audience's lens, adjusting, curating, editing your life to match what gets the best reaction. Non-posters avoid that drift entirely. Their identity stays anchored to their own experience, not to how it looks from the outside. The third is the experience itself. When you're not framing a moment for an audience, you're simply in it. Non-posters often share privately, instead a photo sent directly to someone who was there. If I want my friends to see something, I just send it to them. That's not isolation. That's intimacy, deliberate and chosen. What they're protecting, ultimately, is the version of their life that belongs only to them. Every social media feed is a highlight reel. People share their best moments, the trips, the achievements, the good days. The failures and ordinary days stay hidden. What you're seeing when you scroll is never the full picture. It's life at its most curated. Most people know this rationally, but comparison still happens because the brain doesn't compare rationally. It compares emotionally, automatically, without permission. You see someone's promotion and feel a flicker of falling behind. You see someone's relationship and feel a vague awareness of your own. Somewhere beneath the conscious level, your brain is running a calculation you never asked it to run. A landmark University of Pennsylvania study found that reducing social media use to just 10 minutes per day produced significant reductions in loneliness and depression. Another finding showed passive scrolling consistently linked to lower well-being and higher social comparison. The feed doesn't just show you other people's lives, it quietly scores yours against them. Non-posters have stepped outside that scoring system entirely. They don't scroll and feel behind. They don't post and wait to see where they land. The result is something most people are quietly chasing without realizing it. The ability to feel okay about their life without measuring it against anyone else's. Non-posters aren't all the same. There are three distinct psychological profiles behind this behavior, and the difference matters. The first is the privacy-grounded person. They have a strong internal sense of self and clear personal boundaries. For them, posting doesn't feel like sharing, it feels like exposure. They know what their vacation meant, they don't need reactions to confirm it, their self-worth isn't available for public measurement. The second is driven by social anxiety. It's not that they don't want to share, it's that vulnerability feels threatening. What if nobody responds? What if the post gets judged? The possibility of rejection, even mild digital rejection, keeps them permanently silent. They watch and scroll, but never step forward, because stepping forward means being evaluated. The third is the most psychologically developed. These people have built a life that genuinely doesn't need external validation. Research on self-determination theory shows people need competence, connection, and autonomy. This group meets all three entirely offline through deep relationships and meaningful work. They're not absent from social media because something is wrong with them. They're absent because they found something more sustaining than likes. This video is speaking to two different people. If you don't post, if you've never felt the pull to put your life online for public reaction, hear this clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. Your choice isn't a gap or avoidance. What you've built a sense of self that doesn't require outside confirmation is genuinely difficult to develop. Most people don't have it. And most people won't recognize it when they see it in you. If you do post regularly, openly, this isn't a criticism. Posting from genuine joy or connection is entirely different from posting from need. Both look similar on the surface, but one feels light and the other leaves you checking your phone more than you'd like. The question isn't whether you post or don't post. It's simpler. Do you know why? Not the surface reason, the real one. That question asked honestly tells you more about your relationship with yourself than any photo ever could. Somewhere along the way, privacy started to look suspicious. In a world where people share everything, what they ate, where they went, how they feel, at 11 p.m., someone who shares nothing personal reads as an anomaly, as if keeping your life to yourself is a red flag, as if not broadcasting your moments to strangers needs explaining. But that cultural shift means something. It means we've normalized the idea that a life needs an audience to be valid, that confidence is something you display, not something you carry quietly. The person with no photos on their profile isn't invisible because something is wrong with them. They're invisible because they decided their life belongs to them, not to a feed, not to strangers, not to an algorithm measuring their worth in engagement metrics. That's not a flaw. That's a kind of quiet clarity most people spend years trying to find, usually by looking in exactly the wrong place.